So once again, good afternoon to everybody from WS Display. I'm Mike Morrison, Vice President of Sales, and here in my Atlanta office today, conducting on this early or mid rather January day, our webinar on towers from WS Display. When it comes to displays in general, there's a lot to be said about height of the display, about branding, about storage, and all three of those, as well as other aspects of display work within towers, is what we will center on in today's webinar. So as far as what we'll be talking about today, we're going to talk about different categories of our towers. As you see there in the list, there is a wide range of different types of tower displays that we offer. These are the ones that we will center on, as you see on the screen: the Big Sky Towers, Modco Towers, Wallbox Towers, three different sections of Easy Towers. They're the Easy Tower, Easy Pillar, Easy Tube, and then a couple of new ones that are coming to this realm of different towers that we'll be offering. And we'll be talking about those as well. So let's go ahead and dive into this and get started on our first subject of towers, and that will be our Big Sky Towers. Now, the Big Sky Towers, if you've been around any given period of time, you know that this is a staple in the WS arena of towers that we offer. They are aluminum extrusion towers, and we utilize different, what we call Big Sky extrusion profiles of different widths and sizes. They are available, as you see there in the text, in square as well as triangular shapes. We have two main sizes of the extrusion. Those two sizes are 32 millimeter in width and 60 millimeter in width, imperial wise. That's about an inch and a half on the 32 and just under 3 inches on the 60 millimeter in the width. Depending on the profile, not all of them, but depending on the frame profiles, all are in silver, some are in black. We'll talk about those in just a few minutes. This product is available in backlit as well as non-backlit versions for the graphics. The backlit versions are illuminated with LED ladder lights. Now that's a little different than our edge lights that we use in a lot of our light boxes that attach directly to the extrusion. These will suspend the width of the display and then hang down accordingly to cover the desired footprint of what needs to be backlit. All sides of the tower hardware's display, they will use dye-sub fabric graphics, and you'll hear that acronym all throughout this webinar and throughout our industry, really, and that's SEG finishing, silicone edged graphic finishing. They are available in various standard widths and heights as far as complete skewed products, but also custom as well. Frame hardware is made to order in-house at our Pacific Fulfillment Coast facility, as well as on the East Coast in our Pennsylvania locations. Customization is always available with this particular product. It is recommended for indoor use only. If you're using it outside, make sure it's under a tent somewhere, just so that the graphics can be protected. Have a lot of those that go outside under tent applications. Now, these are the profiles that we talked about and mentioned just a few minutes ago. 32D is the one that's about an inch and a half in width, outside edge to outside edge. You also have the 60D. It's the larger extrusion of the two. It's primarily used in the larger scale towers. Now, you can do and use 32 in towers, but typically when you get above a certain height and width, you'll want to use a much more robust and sturdy profile, and that's what 60D offers. We also offer what's known as the Big Sky Tri profile. This allows you to create a triangular tower. Those are very nice to have when space is limited and you want a different look outside of just the square or rectangular. The Big Sky 32 and 60 both come in black, or what we call onyx. If you see those lower two profiles in the photograph. You have the IC, which is an inverted extrusion that allows you to create the inverted tower connections. And then what you see as far as the Big Sky 40CG is concerned to the far right, both in silver and in black, these are the horizontal beams that scan from one vertical to the other in order to house the silicone edged graphic and to complete the display's build when being constructed. This gives you a visual of the hardware only of the three main profile setups that we use for Big Sky. On the left, you see the non-backlit silver hardware view. In the middle, you'll see our black hardware with a hanging suspended ladder lights that allow you to backlight the entirety of the tower. And then, of course, the one on the right creates the triangular hardware rather only setup that gives you three sides of a display and just allows you a different footprint, as I mentioned earlier, from square or rectangular. You mentioned, or I mentioned earlier, non-backlit as well as backlit applications. You'll often hear me say front lit instead of non-backlit. Those are synonymous with each other. So if you ever hear that, that is what that statement means. It means we're not lighting up the behind the graphics. We're dependent upon ambient light or even in some cases a wall washer light attached at the top of a display that shines down on it. So those are the two options for lighting with this particular product. Now, a lot of times, especially if we're using what you're seeing here in this set of photographs, the Big Sky 60D extrusion, which is the larger of the two profiles to build the larger footprint sizes of the towers. For packaging, we'll do a lot of splicing. It's kind of tough to transport a 8, 10, 12, 16-foot piece of extrusion. So a lot of times we'll use a splice setup, which is what you are seeing here in these top photos. You see that the splice bar is inserted where the splice will connect to the opposing side of the profile, and then use a Torx wrench to tighten the countersunk screw that you see in that bar. And once you tighten that down, you bring the other side in, which is the photograph on the right, upper right, and then you would repeat that process with the other countersunk screw until you make a tight connection. At that point, you have now spliced two pieces of the vertical together to create a one large vertical application. At the bottom, it shows how you connect the horizontal profiles into that vertical. You just simply have a lock inserted into the hollow portion of the CG extrusion, and then a 180-degree turn of a Torx wrench locks it into place into the vertical profile. So it's a one tool application, very easy to create and to assemble and install and dismantle this particular product. So moving from the Big Sky to probably the next most popular tower that we market and sell here at WS Display is the Modco Tower. Modco is our, what we consider frames with holes application profile, aluminum extrusion. It's 62 millimeters wide across the face. It is our modular extrusion to create wall systems with and different displays. It is a tools-free configuration assembly as opposed to what you just saw with Big Sky. We use some connecting clamps that you'll see here in the next graphic, and shows how that product goes together in case you have not had the opportunity to utilize the frames with the holes. They are capable of single as well as double-sided graphic displays. And these are silicone edge graphics, SEG, as we mentioned in the earlier configuration and product. Silicone edge graphic panels can span over multiple frames with this particular product, which can be very easy to utilize. That way you're not interrupting the flow of the graphic that's being presented in the display. So that's good to know. Frame sizes are standardized for this system. Frames ship fully assembled, and it is a non-backlit display system. A lot of that has to do with the thickness of the profile being at 62, you really can't do a backlit light box out of this one unless you're going to use ladder lights and build something custom. But as a general rule, this is a non-backlit display system. It ships out of both of our locations on the west as well as on the east, our PFC, Pacific Fulfillment Center, as well as our Carlisle, Pennsylvania location. They are available in various standard configurations, and custom configurations are also available, and once again recommended for indoor use only. This is a great graphic that shows how the product is assembled. Basically, you see some main components there, the 90-degree connectors that go on the upper, middle, and lower portions of the extrusion to create a 90-degree turn. In the middle portion, you have the ability to connect and create some sturdiness in the middle of a large span of profile between frames that are making the display happen. And then, of course, the connecting clamp is the basis of the tools-free aspect of this product, where you slide the connecting clamp through the two holes, and then you have a cap that you connect it with and tighten until it's fully connected. The position pins that you see, both referring D and C in that description there, is also utilizing tools-free position pins that go into the connection. And so you tighten that with your hands. So there's absolutely no tools needed with this particular product. When it comes to specific SKU products that are already complete, you see three of them there, the Modco 7 series of towers. The one on the left is your basic stacked tower, 16 foot in height, with a door, which does allow you to lock that and have you allow the opportunity to put storage on the inside. If you want to go a little wider, you can go with the 7A tower, which doubles up to 2 meters wide, 1 meter deep at the 16-foot height as well, with a door in the lower right corner. That can be repositioned as well, depending on your setup. And then, of course, our Modco 7C tower gives you a curvature aspect using curved towers in the corners as opposed to a 90-degree corner. That gives it a little bit of aesthetics, a little bit of shape, and a little bit of character to it. And it has a door on the end there. So those are complete products that are able to be ordered just the way you see them there. We just give you the graphic templates, you fill those out, and then of course we're able to build that for you. Moving on to the next category, and this is becoming a new staple within the WS custom offerings at WS, and that's the Wallbox family of products. This particular case, Wallbox Towers. This is a 30 millimeter diameter tubing that we will use for this product. Features 90-degree curved tubular frame corners. So you have a little bit of curvature here on the corners as opposed to a 90-degree. Gives you a little more character in the build and the look of the tower. Tools free. Think of a tent. When you're putting the tubes together and you push the button, slide it into a male-female connection, that's what you're going to use here in order to make that mechanical connection for the Wallbox products. Very similar to our Easy Tube products as well. We'll get to those in just a minute. The display pillowcase style graphics with a zipper closure is how we make the graphics for this particular product. This particular Wallbox tower line is available in two standard widths and heights. Graphic packages as well as hardware only orders are available, and they do include the travel bag that you see there in the bottom, which makes life a lot easier when you want to travel from A to B. The frame hardware is made to order in-house at our Pacific Fulfillment Center only, so it's not available out of Pennsylvania. Please keep that in mind. Customization of it is available as well. It is recommended for use in the indoor only. And the Wallbox tower hardware and graphics are not compatible with Easy Tower fabric displays. You're going to see that in just a minute. But to give you an idea of a visual of what these two standard sizes on the left and two on the right look like, that gives you there the 2x8 and 2x10 on the left. Notice that there are cross struts in the middle in order to keep it secure and sturdy at the weakest point of the tower. Same thing with the 3x8 and 3x10, little wider footprint across the bottom, same heights at 3 foot and 10 foot. The Easy Tower. Now, this goes from a 90-degree angular curve on the corners to square corners. So this is once again using the 30 millimeter anodized tubing. It's available in two standard sizes, 3x8x3 and 3x10x3. It is tool free, just like you saw with the previous easy tubular product, wall box product. And then, of course, die sub pillowcase style graphics, printing on all four exterior panels only, not a backlit product. So keep that in mind. It includes the Easy Tube silver bag that you see there at the bottom. That has wheels, by the way, so I believe you're able to roll that one. Indoor use only, and then there is no customization available, but a one-off custom tube frame tower can be produced. So keep that in mind for the Easy Tower. This one is an extremely popular product because of the shape and because of the view and the aesthetics that it offers. That is the Easy Pillar. It is also made out of the 30 millimeter aluminum silver anodized tubing, two standard sizes, 3x8x3 and also 3x10x3, just like the previous model you just saw. Tools free, of course. Die sub pillowcase graphics does have that Easy Tube silver bag. No customization available for this, just comes in those two particular sizes. So please keep that in mind. Now we got a couple that are coming soon. Now, when I say coming soon, these are finished products at this specific size. Okay, so what we call our Easy Tube Tower. This is different than what you saw because the footprint is wider on this one, 4 foot by 4 foot, 16 foot tall as well. So it's more or less a monster size tower in comparison to the other standard sizes that are available. But the same aspect goes with the tools-free assembly, die sub pillowcase style graphics on all four sides. Does have a travel bag, and this one also only comes out of our Pacific Fulfillment Center location on the West Coast. Customization is available on this one, but if you want it as a complete product the way it is, that is the size and look of that particular product. It is coming soon as research and development is finishing some crossing the T's and dotting the I's on that particular product. And then finally, the last tower in the setup is what we call our Origami Truss Tower. Uh, this is an updated version of the original system that was introduced back in 2016 from WS, had a different set of ways of connecting graphics. And of course, now it is silicone edged graphics that go onto a snap track that attaches to this folding truss product. The truss folds for storage and transports up to 15 centimeters by 15 centimeters, which is a 6-inch by 6-inch square. The Origami Truss profiles have an iron frame with a durable black plastic coating. It is hinged, so you're able to collapse it. It is a tools-free assembly using thumb screw knobs on each of the four corners of the square trussing point. We'll show you a picture of that in just a second. It's the heartbeat of this particular product. I also utilize what I call zip drills, a little small hand drill that you can use with a specific size bit that speeds up the process. It's available in 6 standard truss lengths. The truss lengths cannot be customized. They're only available in those specific lengths, but you can gang them together to make the desired size if it's a custom display that you're building. It is silicone edge graphics for this one. It is indoor use, and it will be available in this particular size tower. It is in the middle of research and development as well. This is the breakdown of the Origami Truss for those that weren't around back in 2016. As you can see, the parts go together with so I can use my mouse here and show you, a X brace here that connects this one to this one. And you see the pattern here once it's fully extended out. So the X connector drops down here, the thumb screws tighten up, and then the same thing with the top. And then when you bring them together, both vertically here and on a 90 degree, or in 6 different directions, actually, where you see it coming in here and from the side, you can also come from the what we'll call the east side of the center, up the south side as well, North Pole and South Pole, top and bottom. You're able to make that connection. I know it's a busy Monday. It's the day that we're doing this webinar on January the 13th of 2025. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to attend this webinar. It will be recorded and be available for on demand. So if you know some people within the organization that would behoove them to see the presentation. And of course, as you see there in the final slide, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to hit me up, or even a custom quote request. Like we were talking about the custom lighting, that might be an opportunity for a particular product. Hit me up at Mike at wsdisplay.com. That's Mike, M-I-K-E, at wsdisplay.com. We appreciate the time. Hope you have a great rest of your week, and we look forward to seeing you very, very soon.